we said it.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Now We Said It. It is me, your host, Quisha, and I am joined by two special guests. My guests tonight are Mike, aka Mike Makes Stuff on YouTube and Instagram, and Deja, aka World of Dej on Instagram and YouTube. You guys, these are my personal faves. It is my sister, my best friend, and my man, my love. So, tonight we are here recapping the brand new series premiere of The Housewives of Salt Lake City. You guys,
aka Mormon specialty.
The Mormon special. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. There was so much in this episode. I feel like Salt Lake City is really gonna bring the heat. Like, how did you... Okay, my sister, I'm gonna talk specifically to my sister, aka Dej. As Housewives people, we've seen every Housewives. We've seen every season. We've seen every series. How do you feel Salt Lake City stands out from the other series that we've watched already?
I would just say with Salt Lake City, first of all, you know, they have this persona that Mormons are, you know, holier than thou, so to say, or whatever. But then we see the other side of these ladies. But this first episode, they brought the heat already. And it already has me wanting more from the jump. You know, from other Housewives, it's like, okay, they're a little more mellow and stuff starting off. And from the clips, we're like, okay, this is what we can expect to see during the season. But from the jump, they already have some drama going on. I'm like, okay, I want more. So.
Absolutely. And so now I'm going to jump over to Mike, who is a novice. He's not a Housewives expert at all. So I want to ask you, you actually watched New York and Beverly Hills with me. So you got in the middle of those. But how do you feel those were different from Salt Lake City? And how do you feel Salt Lake City impressed you or not impressed you?
Impressed is not the right word.
Okay.
I mean, you want honesty?
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Okay.
It is not the show for me. Not because, like, I don't, the personalities are atrocious. These are not human beings. Nobody should behave this way. Nobody should behave this way, regardless of what city you live in.
Okay, so you feel like they were worse than New York and Beverly Hills that you've already seen?
It's on a different level of the same annoyance. They're just the same people in a different setting.
So you think it's the same?
Yeah, it's the same, but I'm judging it from a different perspective. It didn't hit you any differently? No. I mean, I'm judging them all on their character.
Let's get right into the episode. It opens up with, we meet Jen. I don't like looking at her face. Her face bothers me. It looks as independent from her body. I love her family, though. She got the black husband, and not just because they're black, but, yeah, I mean, you know, a little bit little tease. But I like her energy, but at the same time, something really bothers me about Jen. How do you feel about Jen overall?
Jen, I feel like she's okay. She doesn't really bother me. I mean, she is more on the bougie side. You know, and like I told you, she reminds me of Lisa Wu from Atlanta from back in the day. But Jen doesn't really bother me at all.
She bothers me. Jen bothers me.
She bothers me.
She bothers you?
Yeah, something about Jen is just like super phony, and it's very try hard, and I feel like she's like, oh, I'm a housewife, I need to perform. I feel like
insanely self-centered.
I feel like everything she does is super performative, and it's like not, I don't know, there's just a little bit of an air that you get with the other housewives when I see Jen, I'm like, oh, she's performing for the camera. Mm-hmm. She's like trying to
put on.
Yeah, she's trying to be a housewife, a quote unquote housewife. And that's what I don't like about Jen. I'm not feeling her vibe. I don't like her. She's clearly on the plastic surgery chain. Her face.
They all are.
But Jen is on another level. She's giving me jigsaw tease. Like, for real. I'm not even joking, man. Her face is like, it's too much. I don't like it.
She's a claymation Tim Burton character.
She's literally claymation. Her face looks moldy. It literally looks like they she has a pumpkin head. They take it off and then they put it on the body. But anyway, I love her family though. She has a coach. Okay, I'm gonna say she's giving me the whole Charisse teas from Potomac. So I feel like while their marriage is cookie cutter on the outside, I feel like that we might be diving a little bit deeper. We might, in 2 or 3 years or 2 or 3 seasons, we might see a divorce from them. I see that. I'm just saying.
Should we talk about the marriage in the different religions?
Yes. Okay. So Jen said that she was originally Mormon, and then she tried to ask her husband 5 years.
5 years into the marriage.
Hey, you should convert to Mormonism. And he was like, bitch, no, because they don't even like black people like that. Like,
and he's Muslim.
They didn't even like black people until like the 1970s, which I didn't even know. I don't know a lot about Mormon.
I don't either.
I really don't. I didn't know that. Did you?
I know a lot of, I know a lot about the foundation of the Mormon Church. I don't know about their practices, but I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
I don't want to insult anyone.
Fine. I didn't know a lot about like them not accepting black people. I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot about Mormons, but I'm learning a lot now. I just wonder how it is for her kids living there. I'm not so much concerned about them or whatever, but I'm thinking about like their kids and stuff. The one boy that was 24 who was still living at home, who gave me like very much like creepy Lenny Kravitz vibes. Who was the boy who was doing the chiropractor? What was he talking about? What was his
He
job?
got his ACLS and
Okay.
something. I don't know exactly what he does, but
He's 24 and he's living at home. I mean, I don't blame him. He lived in a chalet. The home was fabulous. Okay, so that's Jen and her family. Okay, so do you foresee any kind of marital issues or anything going on with her and the coach? I'm just very apprehensive.
I feel like eventually there's going to come a point because she doesn't really do anything, or does she? What is
She
her
plans
profession?
parties.
So
I don't know her job.
The money spending habits is going to become an issue. I already
Yeah.
know. It's definitely going to become an issue.
I mean, how long have they already been together? He
Oh,
probably
so
already
their
was-
son is 24.
Yeah, since they were in high school.
He wanted a trophy wife, and he got whatever she is.
Tongan and a little bit. She said Tongan, a little bit of Chinese, and then she said like to people in Utah, she's black because they don't know anything else,
Yeah.
and that's so crazy. But I mean, that happens when you go places. They just see a black person and or they see a person with a little drop of color, like, oh, she's black. So I imagine them seeing like a Hawaiian person or anybody with like a little bit of a tan. Oh, that's a black person. So anyway, so that's Jen and her family. They have the 2 boys, the coach. The coach isn't home a lot. I can't really gauge too much on their relationship based off of the little bit of tease that we got. I'm keeping my opinions open on them.
I hate her.
Mike does not like Jen.
He doesn't like any of them.
That's not true.
Speaking of moving on, we meet Heather.
I like Heather.
Yeah, Heather, I feel like is the center of the show. Heather's if you look at the previews, I'm pretty sure Heather's in the middle. They're holding snowflakes, by the way, in Salt Lake City. I think Heather's in the middle, so she's clearly the person that is the even ground between the groups of the women. Although I don't really see much division, but anyway, so we meet Heather and we find out that she married into Mormon royalty. Howard Hughes left her family a lot of money, which is very confusing to me. Her husband, Howard Hughes, left her husband money, and I'm very confused as to why did he leave them the money and not his family. But
I don't think he had a family. Howard Hughes was a weird man.
All right, well, apparently so. He left the money to the gay family, and she married into the gay family. They were worth billions of dollars, and they were perfectly Mormon up until she said 5 years ago when she got divorced. And Heather said that her Mormon faith goes against everything that she loves. She loves gay people. She loves rap music. She loves black men. She loves everything, basically, that is completely against the Mormon faith. So I do like Heather in that respect because she is going with what she likes. But at the same time, she's still Mormon. So is she still practicing? Is she still talking to these people? I'm very interested to see how she interacts with other Mormons, I guess.
Yes, still to come. I feel like Heather's going to be the most real of the group, though.
Yeah, I feel like Heather's going to be the one to keep it real a little bit. She's not like your typical housewife physically. She's got a little bit of meat on her bones. I don't like her face. Her face is hard and very plastic surgery. I don't like... to be honest, all these women's faces are super hardcore plastic surgery.
I can't tell with her because her children have that same jawline.
Well, you're talking about the jawline. I'm talking about like just like her. She has a very Botoxy, plasticky, hard face.
Oh.
That jawline might run in the family.
That whole family, lumberjacks. All of them.
They strong as fuck.
Cutting down trees at birth.
I would love a jawline like that. I could only wish for a jawline. But
No.
in my dreams.
No.
So then we find out, Heather got divorced and she's just out here living her life. She owns a medical spa where she does treatments and Botox. She actually had in the front of her, she had 15-minute Botox parking. So you can run in, get your Botox, and dip out. That's what we need for our wax lady. I would love that. Can we get specialty like wax parking? Because we get the wax.
The parking lot too small.
It's so small. We're talking about our wax lady. So that is Heather and her family. So far, she's the most likable one, in my opinion. She seems the most real, and I'm feeling her vibe. I like her. She divorced her husband. She likes the things that are normal, like gay people, black people, rap music. So she seems to be, I don't even know how to put that. I don't really know.
She's the only one who's human.
Yes.
In that entire group.
Yes. And then after Heather, we meet Meredith. Meredith is the mom to, I would say, the 7th housewife, who is Brooks. He's gay. He's fabulous. He lives in Utah. And he's just out here stunting on all these hoes. He's looking better than everybody. His lips are extra moisturized. His hair is coiffed to the gods. I love Brooks. I want to watch him rather than him and his mom. Meredith seems fine. I
don't feel like she's gonna last long.
Meredith? Mm-hmm. What? Why?
She's boring.
She's boring.
She's boring.
She's mean.
Her husband isn't around.
Isn't she the one who denied
I can see them heading
knowing
for
Heather
divorce.
and all their college drama?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's mean. And
Yes.
she was mean with intent. She did it
And
intentionally.
that's why her husband don't want to be there, because she's mean. She's a mean girl.
Yeah.
She's a
You're
smug
mean.
bitch.
I definitely sense relationship drama with Heather and her husband.
Mm-hmm. Because they spend a lot of time apart. They don't spend a lot of time
Also,
together.
her husband straight up said in the confessional, "I'm undersexed and I'm overworked." And she was like, "Why would you say that?" He's like, "Well, it's true.
It's true. Mm-hmm.
I don't have sex." So I feel like he dipping and dabbing, bebopping and scatting. Whoop, whoop. And it's very sad because they seem to have, we only actually
I feel
saw
like he
Brooks.
just does the gestures, because as we saw in the episode, it was her birthday, right? And he paid to have the son decorate the apartment that they were in, but he was not there physically.
Exactly.
So he's doing the things that, that will make her happy and keep her content for a while, but I just see it all unfolding later on. I don't think they're going to last.
Me too. I don't see this as being a strong marriage. And they're like, oh, we've been married for 25 years. We have these 3 kids. And something there is not ringing true to me. It's not ringing authentic. And he just seems like the dad, just very eager to get away. Something about that is just like, I don't like
He got
that.
a whole nother family.
He's chasing whales in Chicago.
Yeah, he's chasing whales in Chicago, laughing and lying, bebopping and scatting.
Wearing matching sweatsuits with red hats.
So after Meredith, we meet Lisa, who is literally the same as Meredith. I'm having a hard time telling them apart. The only way I can tell them apart is Lisa seems a little bit younger. They talk the same. They walk the same. They are literally 2 peas in a pod. It's crazy to me.
I will say I don't remember a single thing about Lisa.
She literally looks exactly like Meredith.
But I don't remember anything about her
I
life.
forgot
I
about
don't
her, too.
remember.
I think Lisa might be a friend of. I don't know if she's an official housewife. Then we meet Whitney. She has strong Mormon roots and she was married. And then we meet her at a wedding. We think it's a wedding, but then we find out it's a
renewing their
vow
vows.
renewal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we find out it's a vow renewal with her and her husband. It's their 10-year wedding anniversary. And then we find out that Whitney has these strong Mormon roots. She's actually Heather's cousin, and she was excommunicated from the church because her husband, they met at work and they were slipping and sliding, bebopping and scatting, and they were both married to other people at the time. So they were cheating on their spouses with each other. But in the end, love won. They've been together for 10 years. She's not a Mormon anymore because of what they did. We even see like a cousin of theirs apologizing, saying, oh, I didn't know he was going to be around 10 years from now. Also, Justin, her husband, is 18 years her senior. Mm-hmm. So it's like they got all kinds of stuff going on. But I will say, they seem wild and free. They had a stripper pole at the wedding. He was like, baby, you need to change because I know you want to dance and shake it. They seem fun and they seem fit for each other. I don't know who her other husband was. I don't know who his wife was. I do not condone cheating in any way.
I do not condone using a stripper pole in front of your father.
Yeah, oh my God, the wig on the daddy. Can we talk about the daddy with the wig? He had a Justin Bieber, circa 2000.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, extra black. The wig on the dad was a lot.
Bye wig.
It was too much. His dad literally looked like, I'm going to throw this back to Bachelorette. He looked like a boy band manager. The hair was dark. And then we see in the season preview, he's a drug addict. He looks absolutely ridiculous. I cannot take him seriously with his extra white skin and his extra black hair. There's a lot going on. There's no transition in the wig to the skin.
He had bangs. Not the banging.
It looks like
The banging.
it was a carved... It's not even a wig. It looks like it's a helmet that was shaped.
Yes.
And he just kind of put it on.
Like a waxy...
It is jet black and very flat. It's like a matte black. You don't actually see hair. It looks like an anime character.
Yes.
Yu-Gi-Go.
I can say I can't wait to see what Whitney brings to the table.
Me too. I actually feel like, okay, I'm going to give
She's
y'all
gonna be a fun one.
Okay, I'm going to drop a little tea. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Y'all know me. So I heard, read, saw some tea about Whitney where I got turned off to her. I think she's MAGA.
Oh.
I think she's a MAGA bae.
They all are.
I don't think they all are.
I would almost bet that.
You might be right.
Super rich, super religious, living in upscale Utah,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. They're all multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And they're housewives. Most of them they're housewives. Most of them don't run their own business. They're living off their husband's money. Their husbands are out running around doing whatever.
Okay, I'm going to leave my reservations open for Whitney because I really want to like her. I love her wild, free spirit. I love that she was excommunicated. I don't like that they cheated. I do not. That's not, no ma'am. I don't like cheating. That is not something that I get down with. But I'm happy for them that they found love and they seem to be...
We found love in a hopeless place.
I'm glad that they found love and that he's old and they're...
You're glad he's old?
I mean, you
We're
know.
glad he's old.
Happy.
I'm glad they're making it and they're doing it. Like, seriously, like 10 years, they did it. Like, cool. Like,
Noah Seema, we did it.
oh my God.
Dora the Explorer.
No,
How much
bitch.
time
I don't
is left?
watch Dora.
You get 25.
You said how much time is left? Okay, anyway.
Move on to Mary.
Okay,
can
no,
talk
we
trash
have to
about
meet
that.
the other ones. We have to meet Mary's last. Okay, Mary's last.
I only remember 2 people, so...
Okay, so we meet Whitney. And then after meeting Whitney, we meet Jen and her assistant, her first assistant. Okay.
I didn't know we were talking assistants.
Okay. Well, damn, bitch. Okay.
They got like 5 assistants apiece.
Okay, they don't want to talk about the assistant. We meet Jen
They're
and her.
weird people. That's it. The assistants are all weirdos. They're fucking weird.
They completely move all the furniture in their house outside, and then they put new furniture inside. Her husband's away. He don't know what the fuck's going on. He don't know what he's paying for. Just like, that's the typical housewife. It's just cashing checks, swiping cards. I mean, it sounds lovely. So Jen she has this grand idea. She wants to throw a party for Meredith for her birthday. Throwing a party under the guise of it being for Meredith's birthday. And she did the Jen at the Shaw Chalet, which she called her home. Chateau Charay, Lake Bailey. What was Kendra's? What was Kenya's called? Hers was called, I can't remember. Kenya had a name for hers too. Mm-hmm. Y'all put it down in the comments if you remember. But moving on. So then we finally meet Mary. She's meeting up for Whitney for a meal, and we find out that Mary is married to her step-grandpa. According to Mary and her step-grandpa, it was a clause in her grandmother's will that they marry. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of tea that I heard on the streets. Word on the street is, I heard that that was never a thing. From what I heard is that Mary was married previously, and basically when the grandma died, the great granddaddy said, oh, we're going to pray upon stuff. I'm not going to say what we're praying upon, but if I want everybody to pray and then we're in agreement, then that's what we're praying about. So he just said, let's pray. And then he said, everybody, are we praying about the same thing? Do y'all agree, yes or no? And they said clearly yes. That's how I heard that they got married. I heard that it wasn't a clause in the will that they got married. I heard the granddaddy did that kind of stuff. So I feel like it was a grooming situation. But y'all, that's just me. I'm just giving y'all like a little bit of tea that I heard. Grandmother told the great grandfather, step granddaddy, hey, I want you to marry one of my girls because they'll take care of you. And apparently he chose Mary. All right, let's take a deep breath and let's just all like soak that in and think about it. And how does everybody feel about that?
Well, if I'm going to start off, I don't like Mary. I don't like her face. I don't like her attitude.
The wig, sis.
The wig, baby, the hair.
The personality.
It's just I don't like anything about Mary, period. There's something about Mary. There's nothing about Mary that I like.
The wigs are really throwing me. I don't like that these wigs look like this. It's like you are the only black person in Utah that we are seeing.
You come looking like this?
This is what you doing to us? Don't be looking like this for black people on TV. You can marry your granddaddy, but with these wigs, I will not accept.
What your hair did? Come on.
The wig is slanted. It shifted the wrong way.
It's not even parted.
She's giving me Karen Potomac season 1 through 3 teas. She's giving me Karen early Potomac teas. The wig shift. How do you feel about Mary?
I hate her with every part of me.
Why do you hate Mary?
You haven't gotten to that part yet, but just her, who she is as a person is an atrocious piece of filth.
So we get to the actual party that's not really for Meredith. It's clearly Jen's party. And we're going to go ahead and just skip around a bit because we're just going to hit the high points. Basically, we find Mary and we find out that her and Jen have a bit of a upset in their friendship because they met up one time and Mary said that Jen smelled like hospital. And she said she was getting her odor glands removed. I don't know if getting the odor glands removed, was it so she couldn't smell them or because other people couldn't smell them. Anyway, she said it took like 12 surgeries.
No, she was getting her sweat glands removed. It was so she wouldn't sweat.
And she said she died like twice on the table.
Yeah, she said she died twice on the table and she said, I will never forget that smell. I don't want to smell.
Brings you back to a bad place. That's what she. Yeah.
I don't care if I need a nose job, bitch. What do you mean? You mean you don't care if you need emergency surgery? So that is where we are with Mary, and she basically just says like she smelled hospital, and she saw Jen, and then we find out that Jen, her aunt
was in a hospital.
Yeah.
She had to get her legs amputated emergently. So she had just come from the hospital, and she hugged Mary. And Mary said to, who was the girl? Carrie, that she
smells like hospital. I smell a hospital. I'm not going to lie. The hospital does have a very distinct smell. And I guess if that bothers you, it bothers you. I'm going to tell you, when I went in your car yesterday, I smelled the smell that I couldn't describe, but it reminded me of like my childhood. And I was like, I don't like the smell. Like I can't breathe in this car. But I don't know what it was.
You told me that. I don't know what it was.
I don't know what the fuck that smell was. But
I keep a lot of stuff in my car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it came from or whatever. It just reminded me of, like, being, like, young. And I was like, I fucking hate the smell. It drives me crazy. If it was, like, a hospital, clearly you're in the hospital for a reason. It's an emergency. Like, don't be telling people they smell like the fucking hospital and you can't stand it. Okay, like, maybe leave or, like, do something else. But instead of that, Mary said, I said Nene Leakes. I said what I said.
Yes. And then so she and Jen were having a conversation, and Jen was trying to explain to her why you know, her statement was so hurtful, and she was just like, I said what I said. Like, she doesn't take accountability. I'm like, no. I was like, girl,
And you
your
could-
friend,
sorry.
like, your friend is telling you, if this is really your friend, what hurts them, be the bigger person and apologize. Say, okay, I'm sorry. Like, even if you still feel how you feel about the hospital and you don't like the smell, you offended your friend. She had just come from the hospital. It was an emergency situation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you, but, you know, this smell just brings me back to X, Y, Z. Like, there's no accountability there. She's not human. I'm over it.
You could see in her face during their conversation that she knew she was in the wrong. She knew she offended her friend, but because of the utter piece of trash that she is as a person, she refused to apologize or say anything. She's trash.
There truly is something about Mary, and I feel like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now, and that's pretty much where the episode leaves us. Like, they have that thing, and then you see Jen, she leaves and she goes, bitch, don't talk about my family behind closed doors. But it's like, why don't you say it to Mary's face? But anyway, so that's pretty much how the episode wraps up, and then we get a season preview. I'm gonna say this: the season looks phenomenal. I'm very excited for Salt Lake City. How do you feel about the season preview? Did you really get a good look at it, or?
I forgot what happened.
Okay.
But I'm ready to see what's going. I'm ready to see.
You're
coming.
into it. You're
Yeah.
really feeling Salt Lake City. It's refreshing. You like it. Something about the music is like holy hip hop music. It's like it's very different from. I'm going to go ahead and say this. The two newest series that we have are Potomac and Dallas. And I'm going to tell you this. I already know that Potomac and Dallas were advertised and brought to us as other shows. And they molded them into Housewives shows. When you see Salt Lake City, it's Housewives. That's why Dallas isn't really catching on with anybody. And that's why Potomac is slow to catch on, because when we first saw Potomac, it was very much like etiquette. And it wasn't like Housewives. When they got to season 2, it became Housewives. But in season 1, it was not Housewives. The same thing with Dallas. I don't really know what they were trying to do with Dallas. And I still don't know what they're trying to do with Dallas. But I will say this. I think that Salt Lake City is going to be really good. We saw some racist talk in the previews for the series. So you're going to get into race, you're going to get into religion, you're going to get into like sexuality and all this other kind of stuff. Well, with all that being said, I want to thank my guest, Mike Makes Stuff. Mike Makes Stuff. You can find him on YouTube and Instagram. I will put all of his information in the description box down below. And my other special guest, World of Dage. I will put her information in the description box down below as well. Please follow them everywhere. Follow them on Instagram. Please follow them on YouTube. Y'all, this has been another episode of Now You Said It, and I will see you next week. Bye.
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 But now we said it.